Everyone talks about confidence like it's a mask that you put on. Stand taller, smile more, fake it till you make it. But have you ever noticed how exhausting that kind of confidence is? Because it's not confidence, it's performance. The truth is, real confidence isn't built by polishing your light. It's born the moment you stop rejecting your shadow. When you integrate the parts of yourself you've been denying, rejecting, hiding, judging, or trying to fix, you unlock a level of self-love and acceptance that no external validation can touch. That's when your energy becomes unshakable because there's nothing left to be shaky about you. You've integrated and accepted all the parts of yourself. In this video, I'm going to show you the real process of integrating your shadow so you can experience real, authentic, and unshakable self-confidence, the kind that radiates from within no matter what's happening outside of you. If you're new here, hello, I am your muse Traci. On this channel, I help you peel back the false layers of programming and return to your true unlimited nature. So if you're ready to stop pretending and start truly being, let's dive in. So let's start here. Most people's idea of confidence is truly built on a lie. It's built on external approval. It's not built on their self, backing, their self-confidence. It's built on how many people like you, how you think your body is perceived by other people, how productive you are, how well you can hide your insecurities. Basically, it's built on conditions you were taught are good and acceptable. But that's not confidence. That's actually self-abandonment dressed up as confidence. And it's surface level at best. It's the belief that if you can just appear confident enough, you'll eventually feel confident. But here's the secret. True confidence doesn't come from adding layers of performance. It comes from removing layers of rejection and self-abandonment. The paradox is that you stop chasing validation when you finally stop invalidating and rejecting parts of yourself. Now, I've mentioned it several times already, but let's discuss what the shadow really is. Your shadow isn't a bad part of you. It's simply the part of you that you were told was bad. And then learned, because you were told it was bad, and this probably happened at a young age, you learned to hide this part of yourself because you were told it was bad or not acceptable. Because at a young age, when the shadow is created, your dominant concerns are, how do I survive in this environment and how do I stay safe? And also, it's a lot of, how do I get love? Because we need love to survive at a young age. So, if there's a possibility that love is going to be withheld, if you show this bad part of yourself, then you will do your best to not show that part so that you can get love. So when the environment says this part of you is wrong and bad, you take heed. You start the rejection of this part of yourself. You learn to hide this part of you in order to stay safe, and it starts to get pushed into the shadow. You reject this part of yourself in the interest of staying safe, getting loved, being able to survive in this environment. It's every emotion you were told not to feel: anger, jealousy, fear, neediness, vulnerability. It's every part of you that was labeled too much or not enough. And because you were conditioned to believe those parts were unlovable, you pushed them away, out of sight, into your shadow. But here's what most people don't realize. The moment you reject any part of yourself, you fracture your power. That hidden energy doesn't disappear. It becomes suppressed and denied with that part of yourself that you are suppressing and denying. When you don't accept your shadow, confidence will never feel real because there's always a part of you whispering, if they saw this side of me, they'd stop loving me. right? Because again, you learned that in order to be loved, we have to hide that piece of ourself. Because if you don't love and accept that part of yourself, you will never really truly expect another person to love and accept that part of yourself either. Do you see the core fundamental problem here? So many of us want to be loved and accepted unconditionally while simultaneously still rejecting and not loving parts of ourselves. It's a bit backwards, wouldn't you say? So even when things are going well, you live in constant fear of being found out. You live in fear of being not fully loved because you know deep down that you don't fully love and accept all of yourself. So you fear that others will not love and accept all of you, and thus you create this pattern. You see how what you deny gets projected outwards? So instead of having real self-confidence, the kind that comes from integrating and accepting all parts of yourself, you're trying to wear a mask of acceptance while pretending to be what you think is going to be accepted. That's not confidence. That's conditional safety. That's acting in a way that you think is going to earn you safety or acceptance. That's not confidence. That's wearing a mask. True self-confidence is actually the opposite of that. It's the moment you integrate the parts of you that you thought made you unworthy, and you realize they never made you unworthy at all because you can actually never be unworthy. When you stop rejecting your humanity, which is the duality of light and dark, good and bad, right and wrong, etc., when you stop rejecting half of you, you tap into something divine. So, how do you actually integrate your shadow? Step 1, I have another 4-step process. It's a pattern in my videos lately. And it's also a pattern that step 1 is always what? Awareness. This time though, I'm qualifying it, awareness without judgment, because the shadow is created by judgment. So it's really important that we have this element of awareness without judgment. I think this is always important, but it's especially important when we're talking about the shadow. You can't integrate what you're unwilling to see. Start by noticing where you feel triggered, where you feel jealous, where you feel insecure, where you feel ashamed. Those emotions are not proof that something is wrong with you. They're invitations to see what has been exiled. What parts of you have you exiled and pushed down and denied? When you feel insecurity rise, instead of judging it, say, oh, that's the part of me that still believes it's bad or wrong or not enough. And you don't fight with it, you just simply witness it without resistance, without judgment, without labeling it as bad, because what you observe with love integrates back into the whole. Step 2. Step 2 is radical acceptance. Confidence is born in the space where you finally stop trying to fix yourself. You look at the part of you that feels jealous, needy, unworthy, and instead of trying to change that part of you, you simply accept that there is a part of you that feels those things. And you are allowed to feel those things because you're allowed to feel everything. So you look at that part, those parts that maybe you don't, love and want to express, but you still accept that it's something that exists inside of you because we have all possibilities inside of us. Again, that is sort of the definition of being human. Being human is based on duality. You practice radical acceptance of this part of you, even if it's not a part that you want to express and align with. You still accept it as part of you and as part of the whole of you. This is shadow integration. You meet the rejected parts of you and say, I see you. You're allowed to be here. I see you and I accept you. In Neville's words, he said, your opinion of yourself is the most important conversation. When your inner dialogue shifts from criticism to compassion, your energy changes. You move differently. You speak differently. That's confidence, not from ego, not from performance, not from seeking validation, but from integrated wholeness. Okay, step number 3, own all of you. Real confidence is the integration of opposites. It's knowing you can be powerful and tender, magnetic and messy, strong and still uncertain at times, and that's okay. When you stop needing to be only one thing, only one version of yourself all the time, you finally relax into authenticity. And that's when your energy becomes undeniable, unshakable, and ultimately it becomes powerful and magnetic. Because people can feel when you've accepted yourself. They don't know why, but they're just drawn to it. It is magnetism. This is what magnetism is made from. Because you've stopped rejecting the parts of yourself that, others are still fighting within themselves. You no longer have that going on. Step number 4, you live as this integrated self. Integration isn't a one-time meditation or a one-time recognition. It's a way of being now. It's bringing awareness and acceptance into your daily life. When you're triggered, pause and ask yourself, what part of me needs to be seen and accepted right now? When you catch yourself shrinking, remind yourself, I'm safe to be seen as all of me. The more you show up as your full self, unfiltered, unedited, the more grounded and confident and whole you become. And wholeness is magnetic. Because it's not based on control or hiding anymore, because there's nothing left to hide once you integrate all the parts of you. There's nothing pushed down into the shadow that you're hiding from yourself, so you don't need to hide it in the world either. When you stop hiding parts of yourself from yourself, you'll have no reason to hide them from anyone else outside of you, which is what I just sort of said. All parts of you become acceptable and lovable and worthy and valuable. First inside of you, and then of course you will have that reflected outside as well. You see, that's the thing with the shadow. It doesn't actually get hidden. It gets projected out, the exact opposite of the original intention. But when you stop hiding things in the shadows, they stop being projected out into your external world. So important to understand that. So, when you integrate your shadow, you stop chasing external approval because your worth is no longer shaky. It's no longer, hidden. It's no longer negotiable or conditional. You're not trying to convince anyone you're enough. You know you're enough. That's why this kind of confidence, again, feels magnetic. Because it's not dependent on circumstances, it's not dependent on praise, it's not dependent on any external validation. It's rooted in self-acceptance and true, authentic self-love. When you love all of you, not just the pretty filtered parts, you become untouchable, unshakable. You stop performing and you start being. So the real secret to confidence is simple. You stop pretending and you start integrating. Integrating what? Integrating all the parts of you, accepting all the parts of you. If you want acceptance out there, you'll have to first give it to yourself. What a concept. It makes so much sense. But now it's time to actually practice it, right? We don't want to just know this intellectually. We want to put this into practice so that you can feel this level of confidence. I promise you guys, if you do the work to create this, everything shifts because it's so irrelevant, really, what the external world starts to do. And again, you become this magnet. So it's time to actually practice this and to truly start accepting all of yourself. All of yourself. Your light isn't found in perfection. It's revealed when you embrace every piece of who you are. That's the self-love that breeds real self-confidence, the kind that doesn't need to be loud. It just is. If you're ready to go deeper into this process of identity and integration, check out my 1-month intensive coaching program. And, just so you know, it is designed to help you release old programming. It is designed to help you embody your true limitless self, the truth of your being, which I keep repeating over and over and over. You're not broken, you just have layers of programming masking your true nature. So that's what my coaching program is designed to help you with. We peel back the layers and get back to the truth of who you are. And when you change this way from the inside out, manifestation is effortless and you become powerful. And like I said in the beginning of this video, this is a permanent shift. So if this video resonated with you, please hit the like button, leave me a comment down below. I love seeing your comments. And that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.